Hey guys, welcome back for another video. It's me, Winchwood. Today we are starting on case 17, Under the Skin, which is the last case of the Inner Chaos District. So yeah, let's just jump straight into it. Hey there, Will. I still can't believe what happened with Hannah. Her shooting Fredo and everything. Pretty crazy, huh? Hope the kid will be alright. She's a weird geek and all, but I still kind of like her. But anyway, no time to dwell on this. Andrea wants to see us in her office ASAP. Sergeant Will, as you well know, Inner Chaos has finally been stopped, and we can all breathe a little bit easier. However, our job in Inner City is not done yet. The tensions between the Chinese and Russian communities are as high as ever. Which is why I need you today. It's the Chinese festival celebration, and I fear the Russians might attack the parade. You'll be assigned to the parade security. Keep your eyes wide open. And Frank, you better behave this time. I don't want a repeat of your antics during St. Patrick's Day. Well, I must admit, Will, the Chinese know how to party. All those lights and all those sounds? Well, of course, Frank. I know. We're here to work. Well, let's keep our eyes peeled then. The first one who sees something suspicious tells the other. Well, I guess you win, Will. A half-skinned corpse strung into the first parade float is definitely what I call suspicious. Oh, you're right, Will. That ain't any old corpse. It's Nikolai Komarov, the leader of the Russian community. To think Andrea was worried about a Russian attack looks like the Chinese took matters in their own hands. What better way to celebrate than parading your enemy's corpse, eh? You're right, we better go talk to Zhu Xiang. After all, she's the de facto leader of the Chinese side. You want to have a look at those fireworks? Suit yourself, but you better make sure they don't explode in your face. What is a drawing doing in the middle of fireworks? Let's see what it represents. Wait a minute, that man on the drawing is missing half of his skin, just like Komarov. I agree, Will. This drawing must have been forgotten by Komarov's killer. We're in luck. Let's collect some of the powder that's all over it. Let's be clear, Sergeant Will. I had nothing to do with Nikolai's death. And we're supposed to take your word for it. Sergeant Will knows better than that. What kind of fool do you think you take me for? I would have never killed Nikolai on Chinese territory or tainted our festival with his body. Nikolai was becoming dangerous. I'm quite happy that he died in agony, but I had nothing to do with it. If I had, you wouldn't know about it. Let me show you my goodwill, Sergeant Will. Why don't you have a look around? I'm using this temple as my headquarters and I have nothing to hide. Be sure that Sergeant Will is going to take you up on that invitation, Sue. What do you think, Will? Want to take a look at the Chinese temple? Great job collecting the powder from the killer's drawing, Will. Let's send it to Yang for analysis. Oh, so that puzzle of yours was actually a sculpture of a dragon, but someone wrote a message on it. The graffiti says, Chinese scum will have your hide. Oh, I agree, Will. I don't like the sound of that either. We should source against the Chinese and talk about having their hide right after Komarov is found skinned. You're thinking what I'm thinking, Will. Yep, I bet you anything it's an attack from the Russians. Well, Komarov's dead, but you're right. There's still his second in command. You met him already, haven't you? Let's go have a little chat with him. So what did you get from the notebook you found in the temple? Well, did you figure out what those names are about? Komarov's list, and some of the names are crossed out. What the hell did Komarov do to these people? Gotcha, I get those names to Hannah to see if she can tell us more about this. I can't believe you're coming to interrogate me on this day, Sergeant Will. Komarov's dead. You should be arresting Xu Zhang right about now. We're not going to arrest anyone without solid evidence, Sergei. Now tell us about this graffiti Sergeant Will found in Sue's headquarters. What? That's just retaliation. Sue should be grateful we didn't skin her like she skinned Nikolai. Yeah, except according to Sergeant Will, you weren't that enthusiastic about your boss's way of leading the community, Sergei. Thought he was weak? How convenient that your boss should die during Chinese celebrations. Perfect opportunity to deflect the blame on your rivals, isn't it, Sergei? That's a nice story, Copper, but you got nothing to prove. Am I glad Nikolai's dead? Sure, the community would be better off with me as a leader, but I'm not the killer. I must say, I expected to get Komarov on my table sooner or later, but not in such a taste. I always feel sorry for the guy getting skinned alive. It must have been a long, painful death until the shock and the blood loss finally killed him. But you know, whoever did this exercise, the utmost care. The skin was first cut in the middle of his body, and then carefully removed from his muscles. It's weird, but it's almost as if the killer wanted to keep the skin intact. I'd be interested to know what they intend to do with it. I hope it's not a man suit. Ugh, just the thought of it. Sure, Frank, at least I got you some info. The cuts were so precise, the patterns so distinctive, it was easy to deduce the killer's gestures. From the angles in which they perforated the skin, well, I can tell you Komarov killer is right-handed. It's too bad that the festival's parade was cut short. My kids were so happy to see it. I hope the festivities start again soon. Be glad your kids didn't see Komarov. That ain't the sight I'm getting out of my head anytime soon. Talking about that, I managed to identify the powder you collected from the killer's drawing. The powder is residue from a medication designed to prevent transplant rejection. People who have gotten an organ transplant have to take this medication for the rest of their lives. The killer has to have a transplant. Yeah, well, before we get to business, I just wanted to thank you again for what you did for me and Heather. I'm still having a hard time coping with what happened, but that trip to the mountains you got for us really helped turn that page. Thanks again. But anyway, the notebook you found in the temple is a list of Chinese residents. The people whose names are crossed out were expelled last week. Expelled? Why would Komarov want to expel people? You have to ask that to the immigration officer in charge of those expulsions. The name will be familiar to you, Will. It's Aisha Ben Malik. Is that the super angry immigration officer I've heard about, Will? Then we're out for an animated chat with her. Let's go. You again, Sergeant Will. You do realize I'm trying to do my job here. I can't be interrupted every time someone dies. Even with the interruptions, you're getting quite a job done, Miss Ben Malik. We found the list Komarov gave you. Care to explain? It's like Komarov was just helping me out, like any good concerned citizen. I wouldn't be able to do such a good job without people like him. So you allied yourself with a Russian gangster just so you could expel people out of inner city. You do realize he was just using you to thin out the Chinese crowd. All the people he tipped me out about were illegal immigrants. I didn't expel anyone who had certified papers. You may think what you want about me, Sergeant Will, but I'm just upholding the law here. Same as you. My conscience is clean. What a night, Will. I thought the noise of the fireworks would be the only thing giving me a headache, but I was gravely mistaken. The Russian leader had half of his skin carved out and was displayed on one of the floats in the Chinese festival. She's trying to convince us she's innocent by playing fair, and Sergei seems a tad too happy to take over the Russian community in Nikolai's place. Yeah, you're right, Will. Let's not forget Aisha, who made an alliance with Nikolai to expel the Chinese illegal immigrants. Sergeant Will, where are you? I can't see anything. Sergeant Will, there's something I got to show you. It's horrible. What the? Isn't that the Ramirez guy again? What are you blabbering about, and what's with the costume? This is for an undercover mission. I was trying to infiltrate the parade, but I got lost in a back alley, and... Oh, Sergeant Will, I stumbled on that room. It got an operation table, and it's filled with human organs. What? Yeah, we kind of saw these already. Pictures of organs. What kind of organs? The bloody kind. There was a heart, and the lungs, and even a spine. Oh wow, what do you know? You're thinking what I'm thinking, Will. First, there was the heart from the Chinese girl that we never found. Then there was the lungs missing from Radovan's corpse. And the spine that was ripped from the priest at the St. Patrick's Parade. Hey, you're right. Komarov's missing his skin. Could it have also been stolen? Well, Komarov was killed by having his skin removed, so his killer is the one who took the skin. Oh my goodness, Will, you think this all points to the same person? That we have an organ steal on the loose? This is huge. Well, I'll take you to that room. I'm so happy I helped you with your investigation. Follow me. Well, I guess your friend was right, Will. Between the pictures of the victims on the walls and the blood on the operating table, we found the organ stewarder's den. So, what news did you find? Well, a gun? It makes sense. I too would want to come here on what's tested for fingerprints then. And you also found something broken, of course. I guess it wouldn't be a real investigation without it. Well, let's have you repair it up and see what he gives us. Just a piece of advice, Will. You better slip gloves on if you want to rummage through those operating tools. I hate for you to catch some kind of disease. Recorder cassette. I thought I was the only person still using those. The sticker on the tape says skin surgery. This has to belong to our killer. You're right. I'll get this tape to the lab. Alright, I have to admit, I didn't expect you to find a paper lantern among those operating tools as well. How the heck did you get it? How the heck did it get there? But of course, this is the missing link between this operating room and the crime scene. I agree. Definitely time for a second look there. Great job lifting those fingerprints off the gun, Will. I'll get those to Hannah. So what did you find, Will? 2 pieces of paper? Great, one more and we can make a hat. Sorry. Alright, this one is a bank statement from Camaro's account and for rather hefty sums of money. $500 in total. I wouldn't say no to just some of that. The bank account number is illegible though. Do you think you can decipher it? And I guess there's something else to do, but put these pieces of paper back together. Well, bite me. Well, that toilet paper was interesting after all. It's in there list of people for expulsion, but this one looks official. The Yucha family. I'm just gonna, yeah. How could the most zealous number of immigration department have her family expelled from the country? You're right. Best if we go talk to Yucha about this. Great, you managed to decipher the bank account number. A quick trip to the lab and we'll know who wished to search on Mr. Kamarov. Where did you find this sheet, Sergeant Will? I tore it up. That two-faced crook betrayed me. I discovered illegal immigrants in the Russian community. I filed a report, like I always do. When Nikolai realized it, he was furious. He crushed my right hand to stop me from writing my report, and he somehow managed to get my family's name in the expulsion ballot. That's pretty extreme, I got to admit, but if your family's got green cards, you had nothing to worry about, didn't you? It's that clear-cut. I know how things work. Once you're on the list, you're done for. This country is everything to us. My parents moved here because I had a heart defect when I was born. Without the transplant I got here, I would be dead. Illegal immigrants think the rules don't apply to them, but my parents worked hard to integrate and become true U.S. citizens. They deserve to live here. I'll do anything. I need to keep my family in Pacific Bay. Anything, do you hear? We hear you loud and clear. You don't skip time. We might come to see you again very soon. Where did you find such an antique will? Did you borrow it from Frank? Ha, I already made that joke myself, smartass. Anyway, your hunch was right, Will. The tape was recorded by Kamarov's killer. It was actually recorded during the murder. You can hear the killer talking to Kamarov about some big plan they have for his skin, and Kamarov yelling in pain. Sounds like something I don't want to listen to, but did you get anything we could use, Hannah? Any clue as to the killer's identity? Well, they use a voice modifier, so I can't tell their gender. However, there's one major clue they slipped through. They're speaking in Chinese. The killer speaks Chinese. I agree, Will. We got at least one suspect so far who matches that profile. Those fingerprints you got from the gun you found in the operating room belong to Mark Mackenzie Will. You mean that Mr. Famous Surgeon went to that rundown operating room and with a gun he clearly came prepared? There's more. The way the fingerprints are placed to the gun's hand to prove that Mark is right-handed, unless I'm mistaken. It's part of the killer's profile, right? You bet it is. Yep, well, it's time we have another chat with Mark. I'm about to crash out on this. I'm trying to buy a parking permit for my campus. But the system is so terrible that I keep getting crashed out like every single time. I'm trying to fix it very quick. But yeah, so for our parking permit system, we have it so that they send out the sales at the same, at a specific time. But with this many students, obviously the website's going to crash, but obviously they're not going to think about that. So yeah, people are going to be upset because no one's going to get their garage, and neither will I, because this website is not working. I can't get into it. But yeah, that's why I'm recording while I'm waiting. So Hannah, did you find out who's been giving huge amounts of money to Komarov? Of course I did. The bank account matches a certain Rupert Snow, a young and upcoming businessman. I did some digging. The guy's been the savior of many in inner city business during the financial crisis. Very generous man. And so this rich guy decided to give his money off to Komarov. I agree. Well, we better have a chat with him. Yeah, whatever. What do you mean? Oh my gosh, dude, are you serious right now? My school has the most inefficient way to run their tech systems, I swear. Like, they have IT people and CS people behind these things. And you're telling me you can't come up with an efficient way to sell parking permits that won't crash everyone. I see the same cars parked in the same spot every day. Doubt that 90% of the people there... Actually, no, not 90%. I doubt like 10 or 20% of the people there even commutes far. Okay. Mark, Sergeant Will found your gun in the operating room linked to your current murder investigation. Care to explain how it got there? I think you be in this district long enough to know how dangerous it is. I always have a gun on me for protection. As for his presence in this operating room, well, it's easy to explain. Really, I was just called there for an urgent intervention. I must have forgotten the gun. Who did you operate on, Miss? What? I don't care anymore. I don't have to answer that question. I swore an oath when I became a surgeon. I must protect my patient's privacy. Oh wow! Wait, the website is broken. Now the JavaScript is just the JavaScript that's showing up now. So you're trying to make us believe that you're going to a makeshift operating room with a gun that has nothing to do with illegal activities. Yes, I told you those days are behind me. I'm an honest man. Sure about that. Sure. The famous Sergeant Will in Flesh and Blood. Oh, wise choice of words, man. Are you here about the horrifying death of Nikolai Komarov? We are. Sergeant Will discovered that you gave a lot of money to him. Could you tell us in what circumstances? Of course, you see, I lost my parents very young, and most of my foster families are Russian. I was a sick, frail boy. I needed a kidney transplant when I was 12. I'll let you imagine the medical bills that went with it. But my foster family shouldered the burden without a complaint, so now that I have money of my own, I decided to give some back to the Russian community. By giving huge amounts of money to a Russian gangster, what do you think this would achieve? I know Komarov had his faults, but he was still the leader of the Russian community. I knew he would put this money to good use, so... Bro, are you serious? Okay. I swear this thing never wants to work. I could come up with a better system if I'm gonna be honest. Okay. Alright, well, I'm getting lost here. Yeah, I'm losing my patience too, Frank. Thanks. Biggest break, we know that the freak who killed Komarov is the one who's been stealing organs from our previous victims. The question that remains is, what did they intend to do with those organs? The audio tape you found has them mentioning a big plan, but what could it be? In any case, it's also making Mark McKenzie a heck of a suspect, considering the fact that you found his gun in his operating room. We also met Rupert Snow, who has been given huge amounts of money to Kamara, supposedly to help the Russian community. You're right, let's not forget about Aisha. I still can't believe Kamara threatened to have her family expelled. It's karma at its finest. Sergeant Will, Frank, get your coats. We're leaving immediately. What happened, Andrea? Sushang is missing. We have to find her before she skips town. Okay. Well, that will be the end of today's video. That was chapters 1 and 2 of Case 17 Under the Skin. I will see you guys next time for chapters 3 and 4. I love you all. Get out.